Welcome to the latest deep dive from Absurd Labs, the AI Report. Today, we're plunging into a question that's really on everyone's mind, isn't it? And it's increasingly impacting wallets and futures, too. Is the current AI boom just another bubble, like we saw before? Or are we truly witnessing something, well, generational, an opportunity for wealth creation that dwarfs anything we've seen? We've sifted through, honestly, an incredible amount of information, market projections, economic analyses, real-world case studies, insights from the big players, really trying to cut through the noise for you.
Yeah, our mission today is to unpack the hard data, look at the surprising insights that show AI's real economic potential. We'll be exploring the scale, the sheer unprecedented scale of this revolution. We'll compare it directly to the internet and .com era because that comparison comes up a lot, right? But we need to highlight the fundamental differences. We'll look at how new fortunes are being minted incredibly fast. Who's involved? What are the new investment dynamics? And we'll dissect which industries are being profoundly transformed, right now, and what the long-term future holds, say, over the next 25 years or so. But crucially, we also have to confront the big challenges, the crossroads. Geopolitics, workforce shifts, those critical ethical questions, these will undoubtedly shape the journey. They'll determine if this potential is fully realized or, if we stumble.
Okay, let's get into it. Our research, everything we've looked at strongly suggests this isn't just big, it's fundamentally different. This feels like a paradigm shift, not just another step in tech evolution, but something distinct, quantitatively larger. It's reshaping our economic foundations. So prepare for some, hopefully, aha moments as we reveal why this moment could be that once-in-a-generation chance for you to really grasp this tectonic shift happening right now. Let's kick things off by putting AI's economic potential into context. It's natural, I think, for people to compare it to the dot-com boom, late 90s, internet poised to change everything. But our deep dive shows this is, well, a completely different beast. Different scale, different mechanics underneath. So what makes it so different this time?
Right. That's the core question. And a key insight here is a fundamental distinction. The internet, at its heart, was about connectivity, access. It built a global framework, linking people, linking information, unprecedented communication, commerce, sure. Its value was connecting people to information, to each other, streamlining human stuff, empowering human innovation. AI, though, AI is a revolution of intelligence. Automation, transformation. It doesn't just connect. It takes all that information, deciphers it, learns from it, and then it can act on your behalf or maybe eventually on its own behalf. That's a huge transition from just enhancing human productivity to fundamentally re-engineering economic structures. It's moving beyond aiding us to autonomously doing complex tasks. That's the game changer.
And you can already see it in the economic indicators, can't you?
Yeah.
The scale is just, wow. Our analysis shows capital expenditure, the big investments in AI infrastructure. They've already surpassed the total spending on telecom and internet infrastructure during the entire dot-com era. Just let that sink in. All those years building out the internet's pipes and servers. AI spending has blown past that total already in just a few years. And here's where it gets really surprising, I think. AI-related capital expenditure. It's contributed more to U.S. economic growth this year than all of consumer spending combined.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's a massive reallocation of capital. It's not just tech companies doubling down. It feels like the whole economy is making this huge bet on an AI-driven future.
And that raises the big question for you, the listener, right? Is this just hype? A speculative bubble with soaring valuations? Or is it actually a sustainable, long-term bull market backed by solid fundamentals? Wall Street firms like Citi, for example, they're arguing it's definitely the latter. They point to several data-driven reasons why this isn't like the dot-com era, which was fueled so much by speculation, where the story often outran the reality. For instance, AI-related stocks, taken together, they trade at lower PEG ratios. That's price-to-earnings growth.
Okay, break that down. Lower PEG means?
Simply put, a lower PEG ratio means you're paying less for each unit of expected growth. Generally, that's a healthier sign. It suggests the market's valuing these companies based on their potential to actually grow earnings, not just because they're popular or hyped up, and there's more. These companies also show a notably higher Sharpe ratio.
Sharpe ratio, that's risk-adjusted return, right?
Exactly. How much return are you getting for the risk you're taking? A higher Sharpe ratio means better bang for your buck. These investments seem to be delivering better returns for the level of risk compared to other sectors. All this suggests a more robust, fundamentals-driven foundation for the market leaders. And it's supported by other strong trends, too, like improved operating leverage.
Meaning as they get bigger, they get more efficient?
Right. Profits grow faster than revenue because fixed costs get spread out. They also boast higher return on equity, better profit from shareholder money, increased sales per employee showing real productivity gains. and healthier gross margins, stronger core profitability. Taken together, these metrics paint a picture of businesses with solid economic engines, not just, hot air.
So what does this all mean for us trying to understand this? The dot-com crash largely was a business model failure, wasn't it? Lots of companies had grand visions, but no clear path to actually making money. The speculative money dried up, poof. But with AI, we're seeing measurable, tangible productivity gains across so many different sectors. It feels like a key difference. Okay, there are some echoes. Market concentration, for instance. The Magnificent Seven, Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla, they dominate. They make up nearly 40% of the S&P 500 top 10 market cap. That's way higher than the 25% concentration during the dot-com peak, which seemed alarming then. But despite that concentration, the underlying economics, the real-world impact we're seeing, it suggests a more enduring structural shift, not just speculative froth. The drivers seem to have moved from connecting things to automating and transforming processes. It's changing how businesses are even built.
Absolutely. You hear about businesses debating whether to hire employees or invest in AI. That tells you something profound. AI isn't just an IT expense anymore. It's a workforce augmentation tool, a transformation tool. It directly hits the bottom line, the long-term strategy. It's not just about efficiency. It's fundamentally redefining how value gets created.
And this fundamental shift we're talking about, it's translating directly into wealth creation at a pace that's just unprecedented. It's really remarkable how fast new fortunes are being built. It feels different from past booms. But how exactly is this wealth being created, and who are the people right at the forefront of this?
Yeah, the speed is key. The AI boom has already minted dozens of new billionaires, and it's created nearly 500 private companies, the unicorns valued at $1 billion or more, collectively. These unicorns are worth a staggering $2.7 trillion. But get this, 100 of those unicorns have emerged since 2023 alone.
Oh, since 2023.
Yeah, think about that. It's almost 2 new billion-dollar AI companies popping up every single week for the past year and a half. And this rapid acceleration is happening right across the ecosystem. Hardware, software, data infrastructure, even areas like gaming. It shows just how pervasive AI's economic impact is becoming.
You'll probably recognize some of the names leading this charge. Their stories really capture this new wave. Jensen Huang, co-founder and CEO of NVIDIA. His net worth is, $113 billion now. Just astounding. He built this indispensable hardware empire, didn't he? Providing the essential chips, the GPUs, that are basically the engine for training almost all significant AI models without NVIDIA's hardware.
Well, this AI revolution wouldn't be happening at anything like this scale.
Then there's Alexander Wang, founded Scale AI when he was just 19.
Incredible story.
Right. Became the youngest self-made billionaire in the sector. And how? By providing essential data labeling and annotation. It sounds kind of mundane, maybe, but it's absolutely critical for training AI, like providing the perfectly sorted, high-quality fuel for the AI engine. These examples show wealth isn't just from building the core models, it's also from building the foundational infrastructure, the picks and shovels, right? It shows the breadth of opportunity here.
And what's fascinating, connecting this to investment dynamics, is someone like Sam Altman at OpenAI. His estimated net worth, around $1.9 billion. It doesn't primarily come from OpenAI equity itself. It comes largely from his really savvy early-stage investments in other tech companies, many within the broader AI ecosystem.
Ah, interesting. So not just betting on his own horse.
Exactly. It highlights a crucial point for you, the listener, this generational opportunity. It extends way beyond just building the leading AI model or the best chip. It permeates the entire interconnected ecosystem. For discerning investors, for entrepreneurs who can spot those supporting components, that's where huge value lies. It shows that understanding the whole landscape, making those strategic early bets on the picks and shovels of this AI gold rush, can be just as, if not more, lucrative than building the star product yourself. It's about systemic understanding in a market that's evolving incredibly fast.
And this new dynamic seems to be democratizing entrepreneurship, too, in a way we haven't quite seen. Experts, Altman included, are predicting the rise of one-person billion-dollar companies powered by AI. That sounds almost unbelievable, right? Like science fiction. But our research suggests AI really can leverage individual capabilities in profound ways. It feels like a unique chance for founders.
It really does. That prediction highlights how AI tools dramatically lower the barriers to creation and, crucially, to scale. A single individual, theoretically, can now manage tasks that used to need hundreds of employees. Massive overheads. Imagine it. Complex software development, personalized global content creation, sophisticated data analysis that would take a team weeks, targeted marketing campaigns. all potentially managed and scaled by one person leveraging AI tools effectively. So for you listening, this means understanding you need a new kind of literacy if you're an entrepreneur. It's a blend of technical know-how using these tools, plus adaptability, strategic thinking, and that core entrepreneurial drive. The potential wealth creation here is immense. A single person might wield the productive power of what used to be a large organization. It fundamentally reframes the career path for a whole generation. It's about leveraging intelligence at an unprecedented scale.
Okay, let's talk about the fuel. Venture capital is just pouring into AI startups, isn't it,
Mhm.
at an astounding rate. Shows massive investor confidence, but it also looks like huge bets on just a few key players.
The numbers are, frankly, staggering. The percentage of U.S. venture capital going specifically into AI companies, it jumped from 22% in 2022 to a remarkable 42% in 2024. And that trend has only accelerated. It really underscores the shift in investor focus. Plus, you see these mega deals surging rounds where companies raise over $500 million at once. They now account for 36% of global VC deal value. This whole dynamic is being called a flight to quality.
Meaning the money's chasing the perceived winners.
Exactly. Established firms, ones with proven track records, clear paths to revenue, they're getting the vast majority of this cash. The top 30 VC funds, they secured 75% of the capital raised in 2024. So it's not just money flooding the whole sector evenly, it's highly concentrated bets on who investors think will dominate long term.
But here's a critical factor, maybe a catch. For anyone looking at investment opportunities or just trying to understand the market dynamics, our research really highlighted a significant disconnect. A disconnect between these massive investments pouring in and the actual exits, companies getting acquired or going public via IPO.
Yeah.
This seems like a crucial difference from past tech booms.
It really is a unique dynamic this time. So look at the first half of 2025 alone. US AI startups raised $104.3 billion in VC money. Huge number. But the exits, IPOs and acquisitions where investors actually cash out and realize gains, only $36 billion. That's a big gap. It creates this liquidity bottleneck. Unlike the dot-com era, where you had lots of speculative companies rushing to go public, often without clear profits, today's well-funded AI firms, they're choosing to stay private longer.
Why is that?
They're leveraging these massive private funding rounds to build and scale their operations without the immediate pressure of quarterly earnings reports, the scrutiny of an IPO. It represents a fundamentally different way wealth is being created and realized. Value stays locked up in private hands, potentially for massive returns down the line, sure, but it also poses a challenge for investors seeking liquidity. The path to getting your money out is often deferred, less predictable than a traditional IPO route. So for you as an investor, it means patience might be key. The big payouts could be years away, but potentially much larger than in past cycles if these companies deliver on their promise.
Okay, so we've talked about the money, the investment scale. What does this new intelligence actually look like in action? It's moving fast, isn't it? From theory to fundamentally changing how businesses operate. It's impacting nearly every industry. What kind of AI are we really talking about here? And how is it truly changing the game on the ground?
Well, the initial phase, the one most people are familiar with now, was defined by generative AI, large language models, things that create human-like content, text, images, code. This tech is already incredibly powerful for specific tasks, arguably better than humans in some ways. Hundreds of millions of people use it daily, drafting emails, brainstorming, summarizing complex stuff. But the next big frontier, the critical leap, is what's called agentic AI.
Agentic AI, okay, what's the difference?
It moves beyond just generating content to autonomously performing complex multi-step workflows. Think of it like this. Generative AI can write an email for you. Agentic AI could potentially plan an entire marketing campaign, execute it by drafting content, send it to the right people, and then analyze the results all based on one high-level instruction from a human. It's evolving from a chatbot answering questions to a kind of virtual coworker that can plan and execute tasks on its own. It's a profound shift from thought to action. And we're already seeing it being integrated into things like CRM systems, marketing platforms, automating tasks like handling customer queries or dynamically changing website content for users. It's driving real customer-focused revenue growth.
Sam Altman, who we mentioned earlier, he's laid out this compelling roadmap for where this could go. It sounds ambitious, but maybe increasingly plausible. He predicts 2025 sees agents doing real cognitive work, moving beyond basic automation to actually helping with complex decisions. Then 2026 brings systems that figure out novel insights, pushing discovery, analysis, maybe even outperforming human experts in some areas. And by 2027, he even envisions embodied AI, robots performing complex tasks in the real world, interacting physically. this kind of non-linear evolution where each leap builds on the last, it just unlocks entirely new levels of economic value, doesn't it? Shifts what's possible for businesses, for individuals.
Absolutely. And we're already seeing concrete examples across traditional industries. This isn't just theory, it's driving real ROI and transforming operations now. Take manufacturing and logistics. AI is modernizing processes, generating real savings. Toyota, for instance, used an AI platform that helped factory workers save over 10,000 man-hours annually. How? By letting them build and deploy machine learning models more easily for things like spotting defects, quality control. That's not just saving time. It frees up skilled humans for more complex, value-added work, boosts innovation, productivity on the line. Similarly, PepsiCo's Frito-Lay, they gained 4,000 hours of manufacturing capacity. They used AI for predictive maintenance, cutting down unplanned downtime, more snacks, higher profits, simple as that. In logistics, FedEx uses AI for smart package sorting, optimizing their huge network. DHL solutions can save customers up to 35% on shipping costs through smarter packaging and routes. And Kraft Heinz, they're building a self-driving supply chain. Imagine a system that anticipates disruptions, a sudden demand spike, a hurricane hitting a shipping lane, and automatically adjusts operations. That's moving towards full AI automation, reducing risk, increasing agility. Then look at healthcare. It's being transformed in really profound ways. AI is already saving lives, improving outcomes. Researchers used AI to screen for diabetic retinopathy, a major cause of vision loss, before symptoms even appear. Early intervention saves sight. Other AI tools analyze complex medical images, X-rays, MRIs with way less data than normally needed. Huge promise for diagnosing tumors, lung conditions, faster and maybe more accurately than humans alone. Stanford even created an AI virtual scientist. It designs, runs, and analyzes its own biological experiments. That dramatically speeds up drug discovery, genomic research. It automates the tedious parts, letting human researchers focus on the breakthroughs. In finance and retail, AI is critical. Security, risk management, driving sales. Finance relies on it for fraud detection, monitoring millions of transactions in real time, flagging suspicious stuff, often stopping fraud before it happens. It powers sophisticated risk management too, using predictive analytics for market trends, portfolio management for retailers. Using AI gives a clear competitive edge. Companies that adopted it outperformed peers. Double-digit sales growth, average 8% annual profit increase in 2023 and 2024. Amazon's personalized recommendations are the classic example, right? But now that capability is much more widespread. Media and advertising use AI to boost engagement, streamline content creation. Algorithms analyze viewing habits, tailor recommendations on streaming platforms, digital hubs, increases loyalty, consumption. It also enables automated content creation, articles, video scripts, basic visuals, speeds up production timelines significantly. And in advertising, AI enhances targeting, analyzing consumer data, behavior to run highly relevant campaigns for specific segments, maximizes impact, ROI. And even in scientific and creative fields, AI is accelerating progress dramatically. We saw it discovering new battery materials for clean energy in weeks, not years. That's huge. Google's CEO, Sundar Pichai, revealed over 25% of all new code at Google is now written by AI. That shows its foundational role in next-gen software development. It's not just a tool anymore, it's becoming a co-creator and accelerator in almost every field.
What stands out to you listening to these examples? For us, it's just abundantly clear. The economic impact isn't just a tech trend anymore. It's a foundational operational transformation. It's fundamentally redefining business models, moving from being centered mainly on human capital to being centered on AI leverage, the utility, the cost effectiveness. AI is becoming a viable alternative, or often augmentation, to human labor for so many tasks. It lets businesses unlock massive cost savings, drive growth on a whole new scale. It shifts the question, doesn't it? From how many people do we need to how can we use AI to multiply the capabilities of the people we have? Okay, it's one thing to talk about the transformations happening right now, which are profound. But what about the future? Where does this go? Our research looked into specific data-backed projections for the AI industry over the next quarter century. It gives a glimpse, maybe, how this revolution might unfold. We're talking potential trillions of dollars in value here.
Right. So in the near term, say 2025 to 2030, the global AI market is projected to keep up its rapid, almost exponential growth. One forecast from Grandview Research valued the market at about $279 billion in 2024. By 2030, they project it reaching $1.81 trillion. That's a compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of nearly 36%. That's massive growth year on year. This period seems defined by widespread adoption of current generative AI across industries, across business functions, bringing big efficiency gains. The drivers. Services think AI consulting, integration, support that's expected to grow fastest as businesses need help implementing this stuff. Sales and marketing too, leveraging AI for customer analysis, lead generation, personalized campaigns at scale. North America is the biggest market now, but Asia Pacific is forecast to be the fastest growing. It's becoming a truly global acceleration.
And looking further out then, into the midterm, maybe 2030 to 2040, what does that landscape look like as AI keeps evolving? How do the next capabilities unlock even more value?
As we get into that midterm phase, the market size is expected to soar well into the trillions. This is driven by technologies maturing beyond just generative AI, moving really strongly into that agentic AI we talked about. The UN's trade body, UNCTAD, projects the global AI market hitting $4.8 trillion by 2033. That's a 25-fold increase from 2023, just enormous. Market research future forecasts $2 trillion by 2035, with the CAGR still over 30% during that 2025-2035 period. The surge here seems fueled by agentic AI autonomously managing complex workflows, potentially eliminating whole layers of human intervention, creating entirely new service models. Think about entire business processes, customer service, financial analysis managed by AI agents, freeing up human capital for higher-level strategy. A major theme of this period will also be the huge proliferation of AI-powered robotics, autonomous systems. One analysis from Citi forecasts 1.3 billion AI robots by 2035. That covers everything from autonomous vehicles changing transport to commercial cleaning robots becoming common in cities, workplaces. So AI moves beyond digital, increasingly into the physical world, changing manufacturing, logistics, daily life. However, there's a note of caution from some academic perspectives. They suggest current deep learning tech might sort of plateau around 2035, 2040 if no new fundamental innovations emerge.
So the exponential growth isn't guaranteed forever without new breakthroughs.
Potentially not with the current core tech. It raises an important question for you to consider. Will innovation keep up this dizzying pace? Or will we hit a wall without new foundational discoveries? That's a big unknown.
And then the really mind-bending stuff.
Yeah.
The long-term 2040 to 2050. This is where forecasts start sounding like sci-fi, but they are grounded in current trends and the potential of what's called embodied AI. How does that translate into economic value?
Yeah, this is where the numbers get truly astronomical. By 2050, the number of AI robots projected to reach 4 billion, according to that Citi analysis.
4 billion. That's roughly half the current global human population.
Exactly. Autonomous vehicles are expected to be the biggest chunk, 1.858 billion units. Reshaping travel, delivery, city design, domestic cleaning robots, 1.188 billion units. Transforming chores, personal convenience. But here's the really transformative number, driven by embodied AI, the humanoid robot market alone. Forecast to grow to 648 million units, worth a staggering $7 trillion by 2050, driven by uses in industry for complex tasks and in homes for caregiving, cleaning. These huge long-term projections hinge entirely on embodied AI succeeding. Physical robots, powered by advanced intelligence, transforming industries by acting directly in the physical world. Experts like Sam Altman envision the 2030s and beyond as a time of wildly different possibilities, where the two great limits on human progress, intelligence and energy, become wildly abundant. That suggests not just unprecedented economic growth, but entirely new careers, possibilities beyond current comprehension. Think vastly accelerated space exploration AI, designing propulsion, managing missions. Entirely new fields of study, solving global challenges at a scale we can't even imagine now. It potentially transforms human capability itself, not just making us more efficient, but opening completely new frontiers.
It really shows this clear multi-phase roadmap, doesn't it? Each tech leap builds the foundation for the next. It makes the long-term outlook feel like a series of profound transformations, not just more of the same. Near-term growth from generative AI efficiency, content, dramatic mid-term expansion from agentic AI, doing complex cognitive tasks, new service models, and the truly astronomical numbers for 2050 depend on embodied AI operating autonomously, intelligently in the physical world. It's a progressive, nonlinear build-out of a new economy. And if you look within that growth, certain segments are projected for even bigger expansion, right?
Absolutely. Machine learning, valued around $40 billion in 2024, forecast to hit $800 billion by 2035. Natural language processing, $25 billion to $500 billion. Computer vision, $20 billion to $400 billion. Robotics, $15 billion now to $300 billion by 2035. These figures really highlight where the core value, the innovation, is expected to lie. It offers a kind of roadmap for entrepreneurs, for investors.
Okay. The potential we've just outlined is, it's staggering, undeniably exciting. But our research is very clear. This extraordinary future, it's not a guarantee. There are significant crossroads we have to navigate, critical risks that could really impact this generational opportunity, maybe even alter its trajectory completely. So what are these crucial challenges we face?
Yeah, that's the key question, isn't it? What could derail this incredibly optimistic path? A major overarching factor is the intensifying geopolitical competition, particularly what people are calling the high-stakes digital Cold War between global powers, the US and China being the main players. Nations now explicitly see AI leadership as key to national power, economic supremacy. It's become a central pillar in their strategic rivalry. The fight for tech dominance here is immense, and it's shaping international relations, economic policy everywhere.
The U.S., for example, has pursued this aggressive tech decoupling strategy, hasn't it? Using sweeping export controls on advanced chips, the equipment to make them, explicitly aimed at slowing China's progress. This has politicized entire supply chains. Things that used to be purely economic decisions are now strategic battlegrounds. Data centers, for example, they become a new battleground. Countries worry about their data being processed on abroad surveillance risks, foreign influence. So there's this scramble for digital sovereignty. And that leads to new tech alliances like the Chip 4 US, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan, trying to coordinate semiconductor strategy. It creates this really complex, fragmented global picture.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, this kind of fragmentation, it threatens to stifle the very innovation driving the revolution. It increases costs for everyone, creates entirely new security vulnerabilities as systems get built in these isolated silos. It could actively prevent the global collaboration we desperately need for breakthroughs in critical areas like universal AI safety standards, robust ethical guidelines that protect everybody. Some analysis suggests the greatest risks to the AI revolution aren't actually technological at all. They're social and political. Failing to navigate these challenges could stop those optimistic forecasts, abundant intelligence, unprecedented wealth from ever happening. Could leave us with a dangerous, fragmented world instead.
And beyond that complex geopolitics, our research highlighted other critical risks too. Things that could impact whether this generational opportunity really blossoms for everyone. These feel closer to home for a lot of people, affecting individuals, the workforce directly. What are we seeing there?
We're seeing what's being called a workforce conundrum, particularly these harsh awakenings for recent computer science graduates. The data shows high unemployment among them, 6.1%, and a steep drop in entry-level tech job postings, down 35% since 2023. Why? Because those junior-level tasks are being rapidly automated by AI. It's left a generation feeling kind of gaslit about their career prospects. The traditional path into tech seems to have fundamentally shifted. There's also this concerning AI loop in hiring itself. Applicants use AI tools to apply. Employers use AI algorithms to screen and reject, often with zero human oversight.
Leading to those instant rejections.
Exactly. Dehumanized processes. Rejections just minutes after applying. And the big debate. Will AI create more jobs than it destroys? Opinion varies wildly between the public and experts. That highlights a real societal tension we need to manage. Experts are generally more optimistic, pointing to new roles, AI prompting, data curation, AI systems management, but the general public, far more pessimistic. It emphasizes the critical need for adaptability, aggressive reskilling, especially maybe for older workers who might find change harder, the potential for painful transitions, social unrest from widespread job displacement that could lead to public backlash, regulatory crackdowns that actually slow innovation. It's a crucial societal challenge.
And finally, let's not forget the ethical and environmental red flags. They're coming into sharper focus as AI becomes more powerful, more pervasive. These aren't just tech issues. They have real-world consequences.
Yeah, a key aspect here is the ethical challenges baked into advanced AI itself. There's the black box problem, the internal logic of these complex algorithms. It's often opaque, hard to interpret, even for the people who built them. Imagine AI deciding if you get a loan or a job interview, but nobody can fully explain why it made that decision. That lack of transparency undermines trust, accountability, especially in high-stakes areas, healthcare, criminal justice, where decisions have life-altering impacts. Plus, AI systems inherit and amplify biases from their training data, and that data often reflects historical societal prejudices.
Leading to unfair outcomes.
Potentially, yes. Discriminatory outcomes in hiring, lending, law enforcement. Some argue this is almost unavoidable. To some extent, the AI reflects its creators' values, the data's biases. It highlights the urgent need for ethics, inclusion to be absolutely central in AI development. We need human oversight built in. environmentally. Training and running these massive AI models uses immense amounts of electricity and water for cooling. That's a huge sustainability challenge. Data centers have this high and growing carbon footprint. It's a serious concern. Experts are now actively calling for green, sustainable AI algorithm systems designed to work with minimal environmental impact. These issues have to be addressed for responsible long-term development that actually benefits everyone, not just a select few.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it feels abundantly clear. The AI revolution isn't just an echo of the internet boom, which was about building a network for humans. This is fundamentally different, quantitatively larger. It's building a new form of intelligence that's already starting to operate autonomously, redefining work itself, creating unprecedented value at astonishing speed.
It really does feel like a generational opportunity for wealth creation, unprecedented in its speed, its scale, and it's happening through these new private market-centric mechanisms, very different from the public market dynamics of the dot-com era. The industry is on this nonlinear growth path. There's a clear roadmap, generative AI, then agentic AI doing cognitive tasks, ultimately embodied AI in the physical world, each phase unlocking trillions more in economic value over the coming decades.
So what does this all mean for you listening? The optimistic forecasts, they aren't guaranteed, are they? They feel like a prize that has to be earned. Earned by responsibly managing the workforce transitions that are coming, by building robust ethical guardrails for this incredibly powerful technology, and by somehow fostering global cooperation in an era of really intense strategic competition. The path to that future of abundant intelligence, new wonders, it's not certain.
No, it's not. It'll be determined not just by the tech's progress, but by the wisdom, the foresight with which we choose to wield it. This generational opportunity isn't just for investors or entrepreneurs. It feels like a societal mandate to ensure we build a future where AI can be both incredibly powerful and profoundly humane, creating shared prosperity, hopefully.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive on Absurd Labs, the AI Report. We hope you're leaving today not just informed, but maybe inspired to engage with this profound shift, whether it's thinking about its impact on your career, your investments, or just your place in this rapidly evolving world. We'll be back soon with another deep dive.